going to be talking about a gaming series that means a lot to me, and I really wish Nintendo decided to put a lot more effort into this series, because I feel like if they push the series a little bit more, it could actually become like this monstrous franchise. Because you got to keep in mind, sometimes you got to test the waters whenever you're in a business. Like, you got to try out something, and if people like it, they like it, and if they don't like it, then you start over again and you try pushing another product that you're trying to put out there for people to enjoy. And I feel like since they have all these other IPs under their belt they didn't really use, I feel like they're missing out on seeing the success of that series. And the series that I'm referring to in this video is Kid Icarus, because Kid Icarus is a series that I found out about back when I played Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which I believe that game came out in 2008, and I don't recall playing Super Smash Bros. When it first came out. I probably played it like maybe a year or two after. Super Smash Bros. Brawl was the reason why I found out about Kid Icarus, because Pit was featured in that game, and also there was like game trials that they had for classic games on there, where you could try these classic games that came out in like the 1980s or whatever time period it was, and you were able to play the classic Donkey Kong game, you were able to play the Ice Climbers game, and of course you were able to play the Kid Icarus game. And when I played that Kid Icarus game, I was hooked. I had a lot of fun. I wanted more of it. So a few years later, when 2012 came around, and that was around the time where the 3DS was like really popping, Sakurai, which was the person who happened to make the Super Smash Bros. Series, ended up making a new Kid Icarus game called Kid Icarus Uprising. And I still remember to this day when I pre-ordered that game and I went to GameStop, I picked it up. I had these little VR flashcards that came with it. You also had this stand where you had to put your DS on so you could play the game, and it was just a fun game overall. It was just a reimagining of Kid Icarus. It was bringing it to a modern era, so just in case people didn't know what Kid Icarus was, they were actually able to experience it here, because maybe this game was the first entry to the Kid Icarus franchise for new players out there. So maybe after playing this game, they decided to go back to the original roots when Kid Icarus initially came out back in the 1980s, and they played the classic Kid Icarus game. They also played the Game Boy game, Kid Icarus, A Myth and Monsters, and they were like, okay, after I was done playing these 3 games, I need more. Like, I really need more Kid Icarus. And the only way that Kid Icarus was really returning in some format was in the Super Smash Bros. Game. So Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS had Pit in there, and of course, because of the success of Kid Icarus Uprising, because it was a hit on the 3DS, you had characters like Palutena in there, and you also had Dark Pit being introduced as a playable character as well, which is really nice. I mean, more Kid Icarus representation, the better. I'm all for it. With the recent Super Smash Bros. Game, which was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where you pretty much had every single character in Super Smash Bros., you had Pit, Palutena, and Dark Pit return in that game, and you were able to play as them again. So I honestly wish that some person out there, because I realize, you know, Sakurai has a busy schedule, so if he does end up going to make another Kid Icarus game, that's completely fine, because I know he's trying to take a break right now. He's trying to do his own thing, which is understandable because the guy works really hard. But I'm just hoping and praying in the future that Nintendo decides to pick up the pen, you know, write a script and make another Kid Icarus game, because I just feel like this series could become even bigger than when it was. Because when you had Super Smash Bros. Come out, that helped people figure out what Kid Icarus was. And then when you had Uprising, that had people from those Super Smash Bros. Games, or people just looking for a cool game to play on the 3DS, play that game, and they became fans of that franchise. And then after that, they just wanted to see more. So I'm just hoping and praying that Nintendo looks at this in the future and they're like, okay, now that we have the Switch 2 coming out, which is rumored to come out in Q1 of next year, I'm hoping that they decide to bring Kid Icarus back. If it's a port of Kid Icarus Uprising, I'll be okay with that. Or even better, just a new Kid Icarus game overall. Like, that would just be a really awesome thing to see, that, okay, now with the Switch 2, we're going to see a new iteration of Kid Icarus. We're going to see it more advanced. It's going to be running at 60 frames. The graphics are going to look cool. When you're exploring the world, you're going to be like, wow, this is so awesome. Because even back then, playing the 3DS, just looking at how that game was structured, it looked awesome. And I had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of memories playing that game. And I just really want Nintendo to push it again, because I just feel like it has a lot of potential. And I hate seeing things that have potential go to waste, because it makes you think in the back of your head, where could this series have gone if we decided to do something with it? If you get what I'm trying to say. Like, if I personally was in charge of Nintendo, I would want to try to branch out and do different things. Like, okay, We got our Animal Crossing games. We got Mario. We got Zelda. We got Fire Emblem. We got Kirby. We have those Pokemon games from the Pokemon Company. Okay, we're always going to have that. We're always going to make money from that. Why don't we try betting on something else? Maybe doing something a little bit different to see how the audience reacts to it this time. Because I still feel like till this day, since you reintroduced this franchise to the whole audience that are fans of your games, I feel like you should try betting on that series and see where it goes. Because Kid Icarus just has a lot of potential. It's based off of things you see in mythology. You have characters like Medusa in the game, Hades, Thanatos, all of those people that you learn about in mythology are in this game. What would happen if we branch out more? We get more into the lore of what happened around that era, and just having Pit visit these different times within mythology, it would just be pretty cool. Think of it of like Nintendo's version of God of War, but instead of using Kratos, you're using Pit to explore all these different worlds, to fight these different bosses, get all these new awesome power-ups, and introducing these new characters to the game. I just feel like it would just be an incredible experience if we decide to go down that direction. I am very, very high on pushing Kid Icarus more. If there's other people out there, which I know there is, because I've seen countless videos, I've seen comments on forums, or even people making forum posts themselves asking, okay, when is Kid Icarus gonna be a thing again? I'm one of you. I want there to be a big future for Kid Icarus. I want Kid Icarus to actually make a name for itself. I just feel like it has so much potential, and I'm gonna keep on saying it throughout this video. I just feel like this game series has so much potential, and it's just going to waste. And I understand Nintendo has a mindset. They operate under a certain umbrella. I get that. Speaking as a fan who just wants to see it grow and gain more followers and attention, I just feel like you could just do so much more with it. And I'm hoping there's other people out there that have the same mindset as I am, because not even Kid Icarus, like, I'm gonna give credit to like other series that Nintendo has under their belt as well. There's series out there that deserve more recognition. You need to start betting on those series and see what happens if you decide to make another game. Maybe it goes very well and you get a lot of eyes on it and you want to keep on doing it more throughout the years that pass by. There's a lot of things you could do with all these different IPs underneath your belt, and you really need to figure out exactly what your next move's going to be. So I'm hoping with the Switch 2, we get more franchises that are coming back on the console and we could see them being pushed again, because that would be really awesome to see. So if you guys have any thoughts on Kid Icarus that you guys want to share with me when it comes to possibly you guys as well wanting a new game like me, or seeing it pushed more, or whatever the case may be, you got a personal experience you want to share with me when it comes to Kid Icarus, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys want to follow me on my social media, make sure to do so. I'm active the most on my Twitter and my Instagram, so make sure to follow me on there. Just in case I'm not posting a video on here, you know where to find me. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe on the channel. I really appreciate it. We are currently at 22 subscribers as of the recording of this video, and I love you guys so much. I thank you guys for all the support. I don't know where I would be without you guys. Like, I'm really having fun just sitting down here recording content for you guys, giving my thoughts on different things, and it's just a really fun feeling, just growing a community. I realize we're small, but as time goes on, as I always say, we're gonna keep on growing. I'm here for the ride. And again, I thank you all so much for helping me get this far, and it's going to be an incredible journey for years to come. And again, I love you guys so much. And also make sure to click on that notification bell, because I realize YouTube could be a little funny where it's not letting you know when I upload a video at first. So make sure to click that bell so you are informed right away when I post this video. And as always, hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever you guys may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.